All right, so right off the bat, apologies. I don't have the camera right now. I don't know what it looks like on your end. For me, it looks like I'm a little bit dark, but that's just the lighting that I have right now. But I still wanted to put this video out. Yesterday, there was a Joe Musgrove update. I meant to put it in the video last night along with my post game reaction, but I was just so focused on what happened in that game that I just didn't do it. So this morning, here we go. Dennis Lynn in The Athletic. Again, this was yesterday about Joe Musgrove. A recent MRI revealed a bone spur and bone bruise in Joe Musgrove's right elbow. The Padres pitcher said Thursday, adding that the new diagnosis explains the inflammation that forced him onto the injured list for the second time this season. Musgrove received a PRP and cortisone injection in his elbow, hopes to resume throwing in 2 weeks. Surgery to remove or shave down the spur is not really in the question right now, Musgrove said. And then he got into reasoning, like he's done research, he's been studying up, as you see in the quote here, on the potential surge, like the removal of spurs. What does that do? And remember, Darvish, he did this last year, underwent this experience last year where he had to make that decision. And he decided to rest and not have surgery either, because if you remove the bone spur, it could get looser and that could cause other issues, other UCL issues. And so, Joe, like he says here, really doing everything I can to avoid any kind of surgery. But honestly, if I can't throw it the way I am, I got to try the surgery and see if that clears it up. But that's quite a ways down the road. So, really, right now, it's just rest. And the last time that Joe ramped back up, right, because he already had the inflammation one time around before this second time. And I believe he said in the article that he only waited a few days before getting back and throwing, and the doctors believe, like, yep, he went too fast. And so this is what happens. I'm glad that surgery right now is not what they're looking at. I don't know if this would be, and maybe it would be the same decision if this was something that happened at the end of the year and the Padres weren't in the postseason picture, or this happened at the very end of the season and you had the off season to maybe recover a little bit. But when it's June and you're trying to go make the playoffs and you're Joe Musgrove and you care so much about winning for this team, this city, you're not going to be putting surgery on the table right now. You're going to do everything that you can to not have surgery, because if you have to have surgery, you know that you're going to be out. Where here, you can rest and you can at least try to come back and pitch well and see how that heals. See if his movements can be good on the mound, his delivery, all that. Right now, and you can view the Dennis Lynn article that he wrote yesterday. Musgrove was talking about how he's just not comfortable with the ball coming out of his hand right now. Like it's just, and that's definitely understandable when you've got bone spurs and a bone spur, excuse me, and bone bruise with your right elbow, right? So what should the Padres do? I think that they should obviously, like they're going to, keep a good eye on Joe and keep looking to add starting pitching. Even if Joe is healthy, you can never have enough pitching. And there's the Garrett Crochet stuff that's going around, right? The rumors there and the Padres showing interest there. AJ Preller shows interest in a lot of guys, so that's not super surprising. But what would it cost the Padres to get Garrett Crochet? And even if you're like, Ben, I don't care about the cost, we're trying to win right now, which I agree with that mindset. What I would say as well, though, is Garrett Crochet, he's going to be on some sort of innings limit, I would imagine. And so are the Padres willing to give up a lot to get Garrett Crochet? Sure, you get him for 2 years after this and then this year as well. Are you willing to give a lot for him to be converted into a reliever? Now, it would be nice to have Garrett Crochet in the bullpen, but it's also, and you could say this about a lot of guys, but it's not a guarantee that he's going to be healthy. He has dealt with, I believe, some elbow issues in the past as well. So that's not really the greatest guarantee that, yeah, you're trading for a guy that has a track record of staying healthy, right? So maybe the Padres end up going in a different direction for a couple of reasons. Maybe because they don't want to give up as much as the White Sox are asking for. And two, maybe they want to go with someone that they're more comfortable with health wise. But we'll see. You know, AJ Preller, it's interesting with him because it's June 7th, so we're still a ways away from the deadline. But in past years, There's times where he's gone for the big splash with Soto, with Hader, right? Then there's 2023 where he goes more on the margins and brings in someone like Rich Hill, right? Brings in Scott Barlow. It's not like he made those big splashes, right? So I'm curious to see what's going to happen here. I feel like it's going to be. I mean, he could go get Jesus Luzardo. That's not doing Cease level, but that's still a significant add for this Padres team. I'm just curious. It feels like to me it would be more on the margins because if you're thinking about the offense side where they need a power bat, well, okay, go find me that power bat then. Who is that big power bat out there? And maybe as the days go closer, we'll have a better idea of who that may be. But who is that? Um, and then with the pitching side, yeah, go get someone. But at the same time, you've already made big moves. You've acquired Dylan Cease. You've acquired Luis Arias on the offense side. Those are big splashes. That's a lot of guys, a lot of prospects, a lot of things that you could give up that are not here anymore, you know? So I just wonder what is the Padres' ability to make a big splash? And I guess we should ask the question, is a big splash, is that really the right thing for AJ Preller to do for this Padres team? Should he wait and make the Padres earn it? Like make them earn another big move. But if you're also AJ Preller, you may feel that your job's on the line, and you may not be like, I don't care if they show me that they need to earn it. I'm trying to make the postseason, so I'm just going to go make a big move. And you know, those prospects, if they pan out, okay, at least we tried. Because AJ has done that in the past, right? Where it's like, at least we tried, we went for it. That's who AJ is. And he's shown the ability to restock the farm system. But this year, it's like, well, will he have the ability to do that? Because if the Padres don't make the postseason, I would think he's gone. And I think a lot of other Padres fans would say that he should be gone. Because, like, how many more years are we going to go with AJ Preller and not have the consistent postseason, at least the consistency of making the postseason, getting in? We haven't had that with AJ. 2020 short season, you made it, okay, but there was no pitching. 2021 collapse, 2022 made it, run, awesome. 2023, most disappointing season in franchise history. And then all the years before that, obviously, didn't make the postseason. So, like, how much longer are you going to have that go? So, sorry, this kind of went into a bigger picture thing than just on Joe Musgrove. But, I mean, in the interim, right, Randy Vasquez, Adam Major. Now Major's in for Darvish. Darvish, by the way, recently threw off the mound. So seems like things are progressing there. So hopefully that's good. And he'll be able to come back when he's able to come off the 15-day IL. And then let's say Darvish comes back, then it's going to be between Vasquez and Major, who's pitching better at the time. Vasquez last night, obviously, wasn't the best the first couple innings, but credit to him, he was able to go 6 2/3. He was able to retire like 17 of his last 19, something like that. So credit to him for staying in that fight and giving the Padres a chance. They had chances, a lot of chances last night, and weren't able to do the job. So getting back to Musgrove here, do we view it as positive news? I do, because at least I can still have that hope that, okay, he can come back. He's not just going to go have surgery and then be out for the season. There's the ability here to heal a little bit, and hopefully he'll be able to come back. I don't want him to come back early, but there's still that ability to come back. And, I mean, let's remember last year. Sure, there's the question of, will Joe Musgrove be what he once was last year? Will he be able to do that this year, coming off of this inflammation here, the bone spur in the elbow? But let's remember last year, which wasn't that long ago, he pitched really well. He had like a sub-2 ERA, I think, definitely sub-3 after that Yankee outing. His last, I think, 11 starts before he got hurt was Joe Musgrove, the Joe Musgrove we need, the Joe Musgrove that the Padres paid for, even more so because of how well he was pitching. So I still have that hope. I still have that hope.